really, I think, really useful. And these are the 14 principles behind the Earth's biggest store. So, which one do you think is Earth's biggest store? Biggest store? Amazon, yeah. So, yeah, no surprise. I'm sure many of you use it. I use it at least like, I don't know, every month, at least once. And you will think that this store it's just a simple like online store. Okay, what's so special about it? Well, they have 14 principles that define their culture. And if any of you have studied business, or is a business major or something, you will know that the culture behind the company is really important. So Amazon, you would think that, there's nothing special about the culture. They just took advantage of an opportunity. It's the internet age was starting. They just happened to take the best opportunity, the best chance, and that's why they are successful. And I will challenge that. Because if you see history, there's always this thing that the big ones, the big players, eventually are defeated by someone new. That happened with Blockbuster. They were the biggest rental. They didn't innovate, they were like comfortable, and where are they now? Exactly, Netflix took over. So let's see why Amazon has been able to rise so much and grow so much in 20 years. They have 14 principles, and I think these principles can be applied not only to business and not only to a company, but in life. And from what I've learned from these principles, they're really, really useful. So these are the 14 principles. The first one, customer obsession. They're obsessed about the customer. And what does that mean? That means that every decision they take, it's focused on the customer. And how do you use that as a person? Well, let's take the example of public speaking. Whenever we're going to give a speech, we have to obsess and think about our audience and who is going to listen to us. So we think about who they are, what are their interests, and that way you build your presentation so as a function of that. And that way you will catch their attention and your presentation will be awesome. Ownership. What's ownership? Ownership is feeling like you own something. So if you're part of a team, I don't know if, for example, the e-work members, maybe there's something new you want to try, but since it doesn't fit on your responsibilities, you don't feel like, oh, it's not my job, I won't do that. And that's one main thing about working in groups, is that you all need to feel like you own it. So you cannot say, oh, it's not my job, I'm not going to do it. Because at the end of the day, it will affect your, or prevent you from improving as an organization or whatever team you are in. Invent and simplify. Always try to come up with new things. Don't get used to the thing you have mastered. Always try to come up with new things and invent and be creative. I remember like 2 weeks ago, Carlos Cortez, I don't know, maybe some of you know him. He came with the table topics, and he did this new dynamic, like he came and like a debate, and that was really like creative. That's what inventing means. Come up with new things. I write a lot. So what is to be right a lot? Is to, like, does it mean that to be a leader, do you always need to be right and know what you're doing? No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you, as a leader, have better judgment. And how do you get better judgment? So you will think, oh, I need to be a genius. No. To get better judgment, you need to listen. Listen to the people that surround you. That's how you learn. Hire and develop the best. Try to bring people to your team that are really good. Because your team is what is going to determine your results and what you do. So if you have for example, a team for a presentation or a class, and they don't work, they don't do their job, you as a team will get bad results. So insist on the highest standards. Never settle for the low quality, and try to always do the best as possible. Think big. I think that in life, life is tough, okay? Life is already tough. You will get challenges. So why are you going to think small? You have to always, you as a person, cannot impose challenges on yourself. So always try to think big, try to think that you are going to make it, and try to come up with new and ambitious goals. Dive deep. Always try to know what's going on in your team or organization. Frugality. You can do much, you can do so much with less. It's incredible. You always think, many of us think that you will need, oh, I don't know, to study, I need, I don't know, you can do so much with little. You just have to learn how to do it. Learn to be curious. Always try to learn. We're in an age that people say that when we graduate, as soon as we graduate, all we've learned is going to be like out of date. So as soon as we graduate, we're not like current anymore. So we try to always learn. Earn trust. I think that's self-explanatory. Have backbone, disagree and commit. If you see that something is not right, don't try just to be, oh, I'm not going to disrupt the team, I'm not going to put some tension. Try to fight for what you believe in. And it's not fighting, it's just don't challenge the other person's opinion if you're sure that it's right. Bias for action. Don't just overthink, do. Deliver results. Same, deliver results. It's so important. Many of us think that we're working on a project, a business project, for example, and you try to come up with every single plan, every single detail before you start. No, actually start. And those are the 14 principles. I think they're so useful, and you can apply it in so many aspects of your life. Well, thanks so much.